Barbury. He's going to join us. Cats are asleep. So you just got me. They're supposed to come here and turn on the background. They still have not got their act together there. Actually, I just hear one background. So this is UFO disclosure, San Diego sighting. Apparently they're like solar flares or something like that. I'm sure they are. And Barbury, I don't know where that is. I think it's England, I guess. Barbury Castle. It must be because we don't think we have castles here, or in Canada for that matter. Barbury Castle, crop circle, and Planet Chaos. So kind of go back. Well, first off, the San Diego. I don't have the best view. You can just look it up. UFO San Diego sightings and all that. They don't have much on the news because it's a solar flare, so just freaking hilarious. I'm sure it is. So it doesn't mean that disclosure is going to happen anytime soon. We still have a long ways to go, but the idea is for us to figure ourselves out, our reality, and then disclosure can happen. And then the aliens can come down and start messing with us and take us over again, like they did back in the Greek times and Roman times and Egyptian times, and just get humans as slaves and all that. But at least we have disclosure, though. That's one thing about disclosure, that there will be people that will just worship the aliens and just do whatever they say. Yeah, I'm not sure how you're going to get around that one. I don't know when they're planning on showing up, but you never know. Sometimes best they don't. So the crop circle energies of me, for any type of disclosure, for skeptics, crop circles are the way to go. I don't usually connect to crop circles, but I felt that. Well, I'll just go into that a little bit, but I don't know if I heard about it earlier today. Maybe not. Or another, I don't remember. But anyway, the crop circles are talking. This month we kind of closed down energy-wise of what's going on. Maybe there's just nothing going on. We're just being manipulated by CERN. I've definitely been feeling that. I know some people feel like it's not working and all that, but I'm not sure about that. I've been feeling timeline changes. I don't know. I felt the best vibrations. And I think CERN is involved with it. They're shifting some kind of timeline around, but that's okay. We'll be all right. As usual. Yeah, like the food shortages and all that. Obviously, they're trying to push those timelines, which is some places, but I won't worry too much about it. I mean, it's going to happen here and there, but Biden has a COVID, which is interesting. Let your imagination run with that one. I mean, the chances of him running in the next election is not very high, but you never know. But there is backup plans. We're kind of in the same situation like with Trump. Like what Trump was going to, maybe after he lost the election, might win the election. This is kind of the same thing. Is Biden going to hang in there, or is he going to fade out? So it's kind of the same. I guess they're testing the waters right now. I mean, if you're a Secret Service around somebody like that, I guess the joke's on them, but whatever. It's like, you guys really taking this seriously. I mean, essentially, Nancy Pelosi's lost her freaking mind. Biden's like, both of them are just evil dictators, basically. And you're like protecting these people, and you're not seeing that they're psychos. You're just like going with it. We got a long ways to go for any disclosure. So, and of course, the people here are all for it. So I don't know. I guess they have to turn into like some bug creature or anything for anyone to take it seriously. You're kind of seeing that already with the Pelosi, but whatever. Yeah, that's not human, but whatever. It's like a bug-sucking parasite, but that's okay. You gotta be what you gotta be. You gotta be yourself, and that's what she's being. Soul-sucking parasite. That's what I should be using that word instead. Anyway, in human form. So, if you want alien disclosure, just look at some of our politicians, and if you know a politician, say, is that a blood-sucking a soul-sucking parasite? It's Pelosi, and if they bust out laughing, Damn. Yeah. Joke's on us, huh? Planet Chaos. I didn't know how to word this. I go into chaos energy every once in a while. He said I got a download about it. I think it was yesterday. This is kind of a complicated timeline, or I think I brought it up in the past, but there's different ways of saying it. But some people here obviously are addicted to chaos. Some people are chaos. You can look at some of your family members, a teacher, a cat, a dog, whatever. Some are just chaos beings, some are demonic beings. Not all chaos beings are demonic, but some can be, but either way. And then there's others that are addicted to just the energy of chaos. Like they can't get enough of it. They're just like being bullied, or they get addicted to that energy. Like with the politicians, all corrupt as the news. Like anything with news is chaos energy, as you can see. That's why some of those news presenters get sick, because there's so much negativity there. They can't only handle so much. It's just, but chaos. Not everybody here is a chaos being. Some people want nothing to do with it. Obviously, God bless you. But the ones that love it, you can blame the Illuminati all day long. It's still the people here that are chaos. They just live off of it. And that's really one of the roots of all this when it comes down to it. It's like, and how do you heal something like that is beyond me. First, I have to recognize it. And then, not to judge or anything. This isn't about judging. This is about like making a diagnosis. These people are addicted to chaos. I'm not going like even some of that are, if you're an observer of chaos, that's different. But if you're like fueling from it, I'm not going to go into like some news people, even alternative news people are addicted to chaos. Like if you get rid of that chaos, they'll just disappear. They can't handle this place anymore. I don't know where they'll go, maybe to another chaos world. So you're looking for the root of, I'll go into this in the future too. It's a long-winded, it's right in our face, right? And then we get energy attacks. You tap into this stuff, you get energy attacks, you get spells being put on you by government energies, which I think the CIA is still involved with. I don't care what anybody says. If they're not involved, what do we need these people anyway? Then get rid of it then. They're doing all kinds of stuff. I know they've derived from the CIA and all these secret. Well, it's like, oh, it's not them. Are you sure about that? It's like when they say that, it's like, right. What side are you on? If they're not part of, why is it so secretive? Why don't you open the doors and let's see what's going on in there? Because it's all bullshit. How would you know if the CIA and British intelligence aren't covering up, doing a lot of darkness? Shouldn't you see that for yourself then, instead of just somebody telling you it's not them? So, like some people say, I'm an insider. It's like, okay, which side are you on? So, anyway, the chaos energy. If you're looking for the root of a lot of this, and like I said, it goes on and on. Like I said, when you look at individuals here that are addicted to chaos, and they don't even know it. They might know it, but are they consciously aware? It's up in there. But you can, like I said, you can blame the Illuminati all day long, how horrible they are and all that. But like I said, it comes down to the individual. That some are just chaos beings, and they just love every minute of it. They're like complaining about how horrible this world is, but they live off of it. They love it. They feed off of it. And you can blame the archons, the reptilians, and it still comes down to us in the long run. But when you're a chaos being, you're in heaven here. This is their heaven. This is their, it might be hell here, but some people call hell heaven. So it's all in all your perspective, right? But and obviously they don't want you talking about that. They want you to just go with the plan. Go with, this is the way life should be, and just live it up. But in truth, it's just a bunch of chaos beings. Like I said, the ones that love it here are usually chaos beings. And some people are trying to live their life here, live the good life, but it's like, yeah, You might be trying to do that, but you're surrounded by chaotic energies. You might not have chaotic energy, but everybody else does. Or quite a few of them do, at least. So, like when you go to the root, and obviously they don't like being figured out, discovered, and they send energy attacks. They do all kinds of stuff to keep their, because they live off of this stuff. And somebody is back there. It's a ghost. It's so funny. I put something back there, so now they're clawing at it. It's funny. It's a ghost. Hey, ghost. Whoa. Hey, ghost. So good. All right, we'll go real quick and so you can see them playing around. I was having comic pro sessions. We have a schedule here. We have the shop. I'm in the middle of the month somewhere. Oh, it might come down. Same situation here. Webinar, social network behind the scenes. So a preview of what she's doing. Just going to town. I don't know who that is. I think I know who that is. Can you imagine you just sitting here minding your own business? Somebody starts clawing on your background just like that. You can even see the shadow of them. Somebody's there. It's like a background burglar. It's like a background terrorist. Okay, so oh, that's England, of course. Barbury Castle, crop circle. I guess it changes at night. I didn't look into it, but I'm going to channel those energies a little bit later. This one of the recent. Actually, I think this was more recent. I couldn't find anything recent on this. But I did find this one. This is from April somewhere. And of course, they have the San Diego light energies there. And this is not much of a picture, but if you look it up, you can find something on it. Yeah, they have a video on it. Of course, they say it's a solar flare or whatever it is, or some kind of, it's not a solar flare, it's just a man-made flare. Yeah, I'm sure. But these four lights are there for a while. Let's discover who that is. All right. Took down the background. So I put background stuff up there. So I put, I was going to put some other stuff in the background too, but I found those. I think it'll be funny. Hopefully that's not too funny for some people. So that's a llama. That's a llama, giraffe, and cat from space. I'll put some other spiritual stuff back there, but anyway, I always have something back there for once. So that's funny. All right. It might be a little bit too much for some people, but anyway, that's funny though. Experimenting, background experimenting. All right. And of course, the alien beings obviously look like that. Good luck for humanity here to tap into that one. Yeah, we got a long ways to go. That's another thing about those that are in this awakening stage. You're going to see people that are very spiritually speaking, religiously. I mean, picking up more and more of that religious energy, meaning like you might be spiritual, you might not be religious, but that has that religious tone going on. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but that's anyway, it's not. It's what it does. Anyway, as long as it doesn't turn into a cult energy, which it could. Look at that. What did I do to her? That's what they've been clawing at, trying to get to. They covered up the hole that was on the wall that they freaking put there. Yeah. I don't think they can take those down, but they can play with it though. So, all right, going to San Diego. Energies on that, and the crop circles, and play at chaos. So hopefully the background is appeasing. I'll put some more stuff in the background. I'm just experimenting right now. So it sounds like funny. That might be too funny for some people. I think it's hilarious. worries. Some people are so serious. This might be like breaking them down. It's like, oh, this is killing me. This is too funny, you know. Someone just, I guess, just too serious to handle it anyway. Okay, I might change them around for something a little bit more controlled, but anyway, I can always switch them out with something else. So, okay, all right, blessings, here we go. Greetings to you. We don't necessarily have to identify ourselves. We are connected to, you say, the San Diego lights that are occurring. Of course, your government, or they'll take. Notice how the military takes credit for it. So if the military is, taking credit for what you see in the skies, that shows who's covering it up. And now, of course, we'll go deeper. So if they are talking about flares in the skies and all this, and obviously you hear about Area 51 and other things, what else are they hiding from you? Everything. And you can say that the public is not ready, and there are some truth to that also. But realize these little alien sightings are there for people to become ready, to become prepared. There's nothing really to fear. Of course, a lot of fear can come up because you're not used to some of change. So that's one thing about disclosure is change can be quite difficult. Oh yeah, we are the Pleiadians, if you're wondering who we are. We are connected also to yellow beings. We connect to all your other alien frequencies, but we are the Pleiadians, if you're wondering. For disclosure lights, we're allowed to realize they're, through your military, to say it's something else. It's a weather balloon or some kind of other creative fiasco. Even your government officials can't exactly handle disclosure themselves. Yes, they can start throwing up, and well, because they can't hide anything anymore. That's one thing about alien energies. The truth comes out, not just with aliens here, but the truth of humanity comes through. You want an alien being to appear to you, and there's nothing to hide within the alien being and yourself. So that's another frightening scenario, is where all of your insecurities are disclosed. Not that we're going to advertise it or anything like that, but we see it clearly, and you see ours, and we have a mutual understanding. But how many are raised for that? So yeah, I have this problem, I have that problem, and there's nothing wrong with it. But are you ready to share that with others? Some of you are becoming more open with it. There's just different ways of going about it. You don't have to just make a talk show out of it. And some do like to express it on a video, and that's one thing. But there's still a lot hidden. Not that you have to express all of it on the no, but it's like, yes, you might be expressing on a video, but what about personally, just letting down your guard and just not having to put on a performance, just having a conversation, which many do. And it's very social anxiety. And you think social anxiety with your world is difficult, but just humans here. What about alien beings? That's even worse. So you're going into a new energy of discovering who you are within yourself. So it's just basically not being afraid anymore. And change, I can say the background has changed. Some people don't like change, but sometimes you need certain elements to. There's different types of change. There's change that people can adapt to very easily. There's change that people are just absolutely losing it. And alien change, because some of you are welcoming, obviously, but others are not. So the reason for San Diego, why there's a sighting, of course there's sightings all over the place with San Diego. Of course, there's a military energy there. And it's like, you can say kind of like it's a safe zone. It's like, of course, they can come up with some reason for it. But it's another way to get attention to it also. Blessings. Especially if it's covered up. Blessings. At least publicly. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the crop circles. We are the consciousness from England. Greetings. Realize the landscape of England is open for this type of energy. Well, there's still a lot to heal within England. You notice the Queen's situation there. So it's healing that whole royalty manipulation. So crop circles are very much, the aliens see it very clearly. Obviously, humans are not seeing the full picture. If you shift your vibration, you'll see just a bunch of reptilians running your reality. It was in your United Kingdom, but even the United Kingdom has a title. That isn't exactly the most positive. It's like, what are you united to exactly? And there are galactic energies connected to that. So we are galactically united. And there will be times when more of your queen and other officials start to shapeshift even more. They're very seldom. They're very careful about it, especially when a queen gets older. Shapeshifting becomes easier. Of course, for the public to see it, the world's not quite ready for that just yet. But there will be times when that does occur, and you take a picture of the queen. It's like, is there something wrong with my camera? Because you see a reptilian frequency or some kind of other deity that's there. You're heading in that direction. So there's just going to be a new age where this is all coming out. Yes, it's going to be secretive right now because people want to see. People want to see an alien. Are they really ready for that? Some are, yes, but the rest of the population is absorbed into their own world. And it can be traumatic to see an alien frequency here if you're not prepared for it. So seeing a crop circle is like an easy way to say we're here. And we are healing the vortexes that are here. The crop circle it's not just a message, but just a healing pattern. Just like you'd have a rug that has a healing energy. It's like, why you have that rug? And you look at the patterns, it's a healing frequency connected to it. It's basically to help this place become a little bit more home-like. Of course, crop circles have been going on forever. It's not just recent history. And there are certain places where you can say it's allowed, but it's also necessary, especially in your England. Yeah, I think we have some of these are aware, but yes, there's so much corruption there. It doesn't mean that's going to be the end of the English Empire as of yet, because it is technically like a modernized version of the Roman Empire. Of course, the Vatican's connected to it, but it's basically a Roman Empire right in front of you. It's just in secret. Of course, you can call it an Atlantean energy too. And during World War II, there was two different Atlantean fractions fighting against. There's a positive side and a negative side. Because the Atlanteans just lost their minds in their past, and they're still doing it, but they're in another dimension. So let you connect to that. It's once again, it's not for everyone to see. Some of you are involved with. That's why you can see it. That's why you can feel it. Some of you that can see people that are shape shifting, like musicians and all that, is because sometimes it's your family. Yes, if you have a Queen of England, part of your soul family, it doesn't mean it has to be a close family. It could be a cousin. It could be a family of a family of a family. But you're like connected to that bloodline in some form or another. That's why you can tap into it so easily. To give you a little bit of understanding of it. Doesn't mean that you're like a royalty. Well, technically you all are you all have been royalty in some form or another. When you're connected to the Queen's energy, obviously that's not the best vibration. Now, some might say it is, and there is a positive side to that, yes. There's also another side that's been hidden. And of course, some are bowing down to the Queen because they have not quite loved themselves just yet. They are to a certain level, but they haven't quite been able to. They need someone to still take care of them. And many of you are broken free of that. That's why I probably have no friends. But that's not always a bad thing. Greetings. We are several different beings. Well, we are connected to the archons with other reptilians. We're connected to chaos energy. For some do live in chaos. Basically, many that's chaos being some of them have been living in the underworld for a long time, like the hell dimension. They're used to it. So them being here on the surface is a big deal because a lot of them just spend it in the lower astral. Some of them been sent there. Some of them, as you know, people are afraid to die, right? They're afraid to get stuck here. Well, many of them have been stuck here for a very long time, especially if they're addicted to some kind of drugs or some kind of like really like sickly addicted. Like it's not healthy at all. You can tell. If you're just doing little drags here and there, that's not a big deal. But if you're like completely addicted, those beings recycle constantly. But they're here on the surface. So if they're chaos being on the surface, so they are in the process of releasing the hell dimension. But they're not quite ready for that just yet. It takes a long time to release that energy. So some are just they feed off of it because they've been around it so long. Some have been pulled down into hell, and there are fallen angels that actually break free. It's like I want nothing to do with that. But others stay there for a very long time. They get the high of negativity. They can't let it go. So yes, is another part of your rehab. So those that are very addicted to negativity, such as the chaos energy, so you go into your third eye, and what do you see there? Some of you have brothers and sisters connected to it, and sometimes you don't always want to see what they look like, but if they look like a demonic being, don't be too surprised. But that also, so because they're here on the surface, that shows they are trying to let it go. Now some are just anarchy, no matter where they go. There are ones that just they come here just to cause difficulties, and then they go back to where they came from, the lower realms. They just recycle constantly here. They misguide, they misinform, they break everything down. They just get a high off of it. That's their own being. Now, some are just that's all they'll ever be. It's like some that go to church all the time and disconnect to the holiness and really don't have any individual self. They just do what they're being told, like when the preacher or the pastor, the cardinal said I should do this and that. And that's all I do. It's similar. The underworld is very similar to that. Not that those are in the religious energy here. Not really. Some are just looking. It's like I don't know what to do here. I'll just go to church, and that's understood. That's you can go to a place like that and connect to light. Of course, you can go there and connect to darkness also. It has both. That's the thing about religions. They're not always talking about the darkness that's in their own home, that's in the cathedrals. They're not quite ready to mention that. I mean, they kind of do, but they don't really go into it. Maybe some of them are too arrogant. Some of them, if they're extremely open-minded, they will. But many, like channeling, they're afraid of that. Of course, pastors and all this channel all the time. And most of it is for the better good, but others are still healing their own damnation. I mean, a lot of them, they try to heal people or free, free to be afraid of the underworld, but then a lot of preachers, pastors, priests, they go back there. That's where they came from. That's where all this the child abuse energies and all that. It shows where they came from. Some of them have been manipulated into, but a lot of them came from there. Why do you think there's so much darkness there? So as you unravel it, you bring light to it, then they can't hide anymore. One day you might see a human turn into a demonic being. There's a possibility of that. You'll definitely see it in their eyes, but possibly one day you'll see it in the physical. And some are terrified of it, they're judgmental of it, but if you're just freeing the lower realms not to judge it because everyone has their own darkness and you're here to heal themselves. Just the more that you want to know, the more you can know. If you want to know. Some don't want to know. Some can't handle it. And that's quite all right. Yes, I want to feel like, yes, the white hats are coming to save everyone. And there's a lot of false belief systems there because you save yourself. It's like you're always looking out the window for the hero to come in and save you. That's not, and some spend their whole lives thinking that way because they can't handle the negativity here. And so you are ready to, you wonder what your purpose of here is. Maybe it's to get real with yourself if you wish to. Blessings.